Hello everyone, today I'm going to be trying out OK Noodle for the first time, which is known for being one of the best hand-pulled noodle shops in the entire Bay Area. I know I literally just tried out hand-pulled noodles for the first time last week, but I loved my experience so much I wanted to try hand-pulled noodles again, this time at OK Noodle, because they're ultra popular and I can't believe I've never tried them out before. I'm literally salivating just thinking about all the food, so let's go. I just made it here to OK Noodle and placed my order, and right afterwards they brought out a couple of bowls as well as scissors to cut the noodles because they warned me that the noodles get really long and the scissors will make it easier to cut the noodles to eat. It's time to dig into our food now. They're literally so fast and they just brought out all the food all at once. So I want to start off with their beef noodle soup while it's nice and hot. The broth looks very aromatic because I see a ton of cilantro and green onions floating on top, and I already smell the rich, beefy, tantalizing scent. Oh, that is so nice. The broth is really rich and fatty. I love the flavor. It just has this buttery, rich, beefy taste, and it is really so flavorful. I'm really looking forward to the noodles now. Let's go for a bite of these noodles. They feel really promising already. Wow, those noodles are mind-blowing. They're just ridiculous chewy. You can really tell they're freshly hand-pulled and made, and I'm really impressed because they're ultra thin, but they still retain that chewy, bouncy texture, and because they're thin, they got so much surface area, so they really absorb all the flavor of the soup. Now I'm gonna go for a bite of the beef as well. Wow, the taste of the beef is amazing as well. Nice and fatty without being overly so, and perfectly tender. And I mean, this is just a really nice warm bowl of soup that'll really warm you up. Now I'm gonna be going for another one of their really popular dishes. These are their tomato and egg noodles. So this is just full of scrambled eggs as well as whole slices of tomatoes and with noodles on the bottom. But of course, the star of the show is the noodles. So I want to just go for a bite of these real quick. Oh wow, these noodles are even chewier because this one has less broth. The noodles are ultra chewy and they're so fun to eat. They really got that nice perfect bouncy texture. I love the flavor of this because you got a really rich and deep tomato flavor, and it's nice and a little bit tart as well. And I just want to get a bite of this with the eggs as well. Oh, this is awesome. The eggs are just like a sponge because they absorb all that broth. As you bite into the eggs, it just bursts with flavor and juice. And I'm not even the biggest tomato person, but I really enjoy this dish because it just works so well. Now I'm gonna go for a couple of cold dishes. This is their crispy black fungus appetizer, and it's just the wood ear mushrooms covered in a little bit of crushed garlic as well as raw onions. Oh, this is a really nice dish. I like that it's nice and refreshing to go with all the hot noodles. It's really nice and crunchy. I love the texture of the wood ear mushrooms. And they also have a real nice earthy, woody flavor. And that goes nicely with the seasoning. So it's just a little bit of vinegar for a little bit of tartness. And then very thinly sliced onions as well as just a hint of garlic. So it's not too overpowering. And it's a very light and gentle dish. Now I'm gonna go for their long pea noodles, and this is definitely a switch up because these look really nice and glowingly spicy because there's tons of chili oil on the bottom of this. But I just want to go for a huge bite because I love these. Wow, these bring the heat. These are amazing. It tastes like it's made with their homemade chili oil. The noodles are nice and white, so they really soak up the flavor. But as you eat it, you get a little bit of crunch from all the pepper flakes in there from the chili oil. And this is really a dish that's gonna light you up with its spiciness, but it's also nice because it's a bit cooling as well because you got all the cucumber on top. It also appears they have some sort of fried tofu in here soaking in all that chili oil on the bottom. Oh, I love that. It's just fried tofu on the bottom It's got a really chewy, bouncy texture, just like the noodles, and it's got a really rich soy flavor, so it goes nice with all the chilies. Next, I'm going to be trying out my lamb noodles, and I used the scissors for this one because they're super ultra long noodles, and I'm looking forward to this because I love lamb, and the seasoning already smells like it's chow fun seasoning, sort of. Wow, this dish is awesome. I love the texture of the noodles. These are the thinner ones again, still nice and bouncy and chewy, but the flavor is immaculate. It's just that sweet, caramelized sort of chow fun soy sauce flavor that I love, and it's filled with thin shreds of cabbage to add a nice juiciness. And then you have thinly sliced lamb in there, and the lamb is really nice. It's a little bit fatty, and it's not overly gamey either. It's a very mild tasting lamb, and this is overall just an awesome dish. You gotta try this if you love noodles. I mean, the flavor of this is really interesting because I'm used to having chow fun as rice noodles, but this is basically like the wheat noodle version of chow fun. This is incredible. Now I'm gonna be trying out their soybean paste noodles. In this one, they gave me the soybean paste sauce on the side. It's filled with pieces of black beans as well as little bits of meat. I'm not sure what meat it is. I'm assuming it's pork. But she said just to spoon a little bit over the cold noodles on the side because it's very salty. Wow, you definitely do have to be careful. Don't add too much of the sauce, just a little bit like I did, and it is heaven. It's just like the umami burst of flavor in your mouth. It's got that really rich, fermented, earthy flavor of the black beans. I love it. To me, it's just really addicting. As soon as you take one bite, you want more. And then you have the crunch of the refreshing cucumber on top, and then the little pieces of ground pork in there just to add some flavor, paired with the chewy noodles, because these are served dry and on the side, so they're at their peak chewiness and texture. This is an awesome dish. You really can't be sleeping on this one. I'm going to be going out with a bang. This is my last dish that I'm going to be trying, and it's probably their most popular dish on the menu. These are their chili oil noodles. So I decided to sub out the noodles, and I got the extra flat, wide noodles. So they're really going to absorb all the flavor of the chili oil pork on top. Wow, I've been looking forward to this because I've heard so many good things about these chili oil noodles, and I got the perfect bite. A nice large piece of noodle covered in that chili oil as well as a little bit of pork in there as well. Wow, these are incredible. These are my favorite noodles here, and I can see why so many people love them. The flavor is just immaculate. You really get that chili oil to coat all your taste buds, and it's a little bit nummy as well because they have the Szechuan peppercorns in there. But the best thing about this is it's not overpowering or overly spicy, so you can still taste the beautiful flavor of the fatty pork in there as well as the nice bouncy chewy noodles, and I love those flat noodles. I also love that they have a little bit of homemade chili oil on the side of the table. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this to my noodles as well because I want a little bit more heat from their homemade chili oil. Wow, this just looks like such a tantalizing bite. Wow, that is awesome. You have to add the chili oil to your noodles. The chili oil is really nice, has a little bit of a crispy texture, and then it really does taste homemade. I love that it's a very chili forward chili oil, not too greasy. It's mostly just chilies in there, so you get a really nice roasted chili flavor, nice and earthy and aromatic, and it really adds that extra spice that goes nicely with these noodles. So that is the way to go. Overall, this was an incredible first experience I had here at OK Noodle. I gotta be heading back here again to try a couple of other dishes they have on their menu and get some of my favorites today because this was just an awesome meal, and I seriously love their hand-pulled noodles here. I think they might have some of the best hand-pulled noodles in the entire Bay Area. There were so many delicious dishes here, but the three that were like hit me in the face good, that just knocked me off my feet, were the soybean paste noodles. I love that with all that soybean sauce on the side. It has such a rich and intense umami rich flavor. I also love the cold noodles of the long pea. They're really nice and spicy. They have such a wonderful texture with a crunch from the cucumbers. And of course, my ultimate favorite are those chili oil noodles. You gotta try it, especially with the extra chili oil on the side. That is really what makes it just a perfect noodle dish. If you're looking to satisfy your noodle craving, you gotta head to OK Noodle. You're gonna love their incredible and flavorful hand-pulled noodles. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.